Welcome back.
To the
Guess
Duck
who's back?
Podcast.
Back again. Yeah, the Duck Podcast.
Copyright. Tell a friend.
It's not quite copyright, but it is patent pending.
Guys, we're back. And since the first...
Guys, meaning all of 2 viewers.
Yeah. Well, no, we got 9 views of today.
Wow.
Oh,
Since it
really?
only
Okay.
came out
Oh,
today.
sick.
All right, sick.
Well, hello, world.
Yeah, and we got 1 like.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
One
Hell
like.
yeah. So thank you, everybody, for
So you take the moon.
giving your
You
appreciation.
take the moon. And you take the moon.
It's only been a day that the podcast has been out for us. I don't know about you guys, but for us, it's only been about a day. And from that, you guys still haven't given us any ideas for a name. So I'm honestly, I've been talking to the guys, and for those of you who did watch or listen to the podcast today, I added some art of a duck because we just decided to go on the Duck Podcast. And so if you guys want us to keep the duck name, tell us. And if you want us to go
Just
with
say
something else,
anything, please.
yeah, please just comment. I need friendship, please.
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 So how are you guys? How you doing? When did we do the last episode? When did we record it?
What, like 2-3 days ago?
2-3 days ago?
Something like that? Yeah.
Something like that.
We're on a good
Oh,
start.
that was Tuesday.
We're with Ewok today.
Oh, yeah.
Isaac's pup.
I can't see him, and he can't talk.
Oh,
so
he's like, he's just chilling right next to Isaac. He
big
looks
boy.
kind of tired. I'm also kind of tired, but I'm doing pretty good. It's been an all right time in quarantine lately, I think.
Quarantine's
now
been
that
getting
we're,
better.
Yeah. Well, we're obviously seeing each other now, so I guess that
Mhm.
makes it kind of better. I mean, when
And
you're
yeah, for
stuck in
those
your
of-
house.
Anybody who's wondering if we're still like abiding by the social distancing things,
We're not. Just kidding.
We are.
We are. We're
We-
sitting.
We make sure that we don't touch too much, and we make sure that we don't. Are you guys good?
Yeah, sorry. There's
a bunch
pincher
of bugs
bugs.
around here. That's
Yeah, this is still the
disgusting.
garage podcast, so we're literally in
In
a
a garage,
garage,
yeah.
but
We don't have a sealed wall yet.
Yeah.
One wall just completely comes up, so
it's fine.
it's fine. I sleep in here now, so that's cool.
But yeah, what I was saying is just that, with everything going on, we're still abiding by the basic social distancing rules. We don't stay 6 feet apart necessarily, but like, we're in
Far
California.
enough away.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah,
we
To
don't
where
breathe in each other's
we
zones.
won't be considered.
like normal, which
Gay.
you would be surprising.
Yeah.
You would be surprised at how many times I think we breathe
And honestly,
in each
we
other's faces.
like before
Yeah.
the quarantine, we were way more touchy. I know that sounds gay, but we weren't.
We're not.
we
we
were
swear.
we were
Hey,
very
these
touchy. We
ducks
would
can't
give each
use
other
that.
hugs or whatever, and
The ducks ain't into tail.
we don't do that much anymore. We're actually trying to like.
yeah,
I remember the
I haven't.
first time we came over to
hugged.
your place.
I haven't hugged the boys in a
Yeah.
minute.
I remember.
Oh,
when,
yeah.
I remember when we first came over to your garage on the first day we met up.
Isaac tried to hug me.
Isaac
You
was hanging out, and you were like,
motherfucker.
I
"Hey,
was like,
hey,
hey, stop.
no touch,
No.
no touch."
No touchy.
Isaac, will you scoot over?
I know, dude. This fool's
Gosh.
all up in my space. I'll be sitting here on this couch, and this dude just progressively every couple minutes gets closer and closer.
Yeah.
And it's like, move.
Move. Yeah, man. I think we probably should have written down those words like we suggested we did last episode.
Oh,
Or
we
we could
talked
just,
about how. We can
Yeah.
keep talking, but I'm just saying. I know that there's going to be a couple awkward pauses.
we were supposed to write points.
We really
down.
should just write things down that we
And
can talk about.
We literally here's how these podcasts have been going so far, just so you guys don't think we actually plan it.
we sit down.
We literally
with
we
the
walk
lights.
into my garage and it's like, hey,
Want a podcast?
you want to film a podcast? And then
Literally.
it's just me setting up the podcast, and then we
Going.
just hope
Yeah.
that it comes out
going.
good. I think it's going
But
okay.
That's enough
We're still-
meta-ing.
Actually, my family did not. Sorry, my family did not watch the whole thing or listen to the whole thing, but they were talking about how they listened to a little bit of it, at least to the part where we were talking about picking a name for it, and they actually
Understandable.
commented on the fact that the audio sounds
It's
really
way
good.
better, yeah.
Thank God.
They said it sounds great, a lot better than what I put out for my other podcast. So thanks for showing up all
Yeah.
of my other podcasts. But yeah, man. Put those away.
Yeah, this dude's literally gonna pick up the thing that makes the most noise in this entire garage right now. Dude, I mean, no.
I name it. Fine.
Ugh. Yeah.
I just grabbed a pincher bug by
Yeah,
the
Brent
pincher. I
grabbed-
feel
You
so
are-
cool right now.
Absolutely crazy.
I don't like pincher
Not
bugs.
like
last
mad
time,
like
last time
crazy,
I
just
messed with a
loony.
pincher bug, I tried to kill it in a napkin and I squeezed it, and I forgot I forgot that it still had a pincher on it. So when I squeezed it, the pincher went through the napkin
Oh.
and into my thumb
Ow.
as if I was like stapling myself. So that was fun.
You know, there's some random bugs that'll just fly around in here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
And
Brent was talking.
I'm sorry. my
yeah,
bad.
dude,
Wow.
like
Sorry, I have an idea
dang.
for something to talk about after he's done here.
You know what? Never mind. You take the floor.
Okay. So, to start off, since we're talking about bugs, what is the bug that freaks you out the most?
Oof.
I don't know if
Spiders.
it's true or not, but I saw a TikTok where a guy was like, just to make 2020 even better.
Oh, those
they-
big ass
they just-
hornets.
Not,
the killer
not
bees?
the hornets.
Yeah.
Again,
Mur-
he
murder-
might have been joking. I really hope he
murder
was, but he
bees?
was like, scientists have discovered a new race of spider, and they have wings.
I'm alright. I'm okay.
Fuck that.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
no.
thank you. I don't
See-
want any of that.
Yeah, here's my problem. Like, I love animals. Let's
Yeah.
start by that. I love
Bugs
animals.
aren't animals.
But like spiders and snakes. That's
I
What is the
can
point
I
of
can under-
spiders?
the fact that
flies?
people
I can
own
understand I can understand a snake though.
I don't that's the problem. Like people literally have tarantulas and like
Okay, those people are crazy.
snakes as
They're
pets.
unstable.
Yeah. Pet snakes are
Oh
fun.
hell no, dude. Like
long as you
that's
don't get
You didn't like the
scary.
corn snakes in 5th grade?
No, dude. Like
Really?
well, okay, in 5th grade, it's kind of like, oh, hey, snake, ha, that's cool. But as I get older,
Yeah.
and you watch snakes on a plane about 8 times, you realize that snakes actually hurt. And I don't know if
But
I'm.
that's why you stay away from things like vipers and cobras.
Oh,
So
thank you, Isaac. Because if I was just chilling and camping, and I see one of those snakes, I'm just gonna assume
So you're
No, I
saying
mean,
you
for
wouldn't
as a
that they're
pet.
safe.
you wouldn't get another corn snake then? Because the
Oh.
corn snakes are safe.
Nah,
Yeah.
nah.
Something non-venomous.
I don't.
Oh,
Here's my
bummer.
thing, bro. Like, they remind me of long worms. And like, I don't want one of those crawling around my arm. Like,
Dude.
you ever think about that? Like, well, okay, look. I mean, if we're gonna get technical here, in the Bible, God cursed the
The snake-
serpent to the
The
ground.
snake is
So
Satan.
I propose another question. Did that mean at one point
It had
did
legs.
snakes have legs?
It had legs, yeah.
But that's just a lizard.
But it's a long
A
lizard.
long lizard.
Okay, I
We're
don't-
not talking like no
Dude,
iguana. We're
like,
talking
it could have
like
possibly been a centipede.
yeah, but like
Eh.
giant,
Like a giant lizard
a
centipede.
giant centipede.
If a giant centipede was gonna kill Adam and Eve, or me for that matter, they would have done it already.
Okay, but the lizard was or the snake wasn't trying to kill Adam and Eve.
I
it
mean,
was supposed-
technically,
it was
I mean,
Satan
trying
in
to
doesn't
the
kill
long run.
people.
doom them.
In the long
Satan
run.
never kills people though.
Yeah,
People kill
but
people.
in the long
He's just
run,
the gun. That's a lie.
In the long run, what?
I mean, he doesn't have the best intentions for us.
Yeah, but he doesn't kill us.
I never thought I'd hear
But it
you
can
say
lead
that
to
out
death.
loud.
He also doesn't really lie either.
He does though.
This is where, I don't know.
I don't know.
Fun
But,
podcast topic.
Back to the bug thingy.
Bugs,
I still
bugs,
have a weird thing about ticks. Personally,
ticks.
ticks. Those things are freaking
I
creepy.
mean, like,
Do you have fleas, man? I know your hair was
Yeah.
getting long, but
no, dude, ticks burrow into your skin.
well, thank you
like,
for that
like,
image.
the,
Yeah, I know,
like
right?
the
Go
bugs in
away.
the Mummy. You guys
What?
ever see the Mummy?
Oh,
Can you
sort
not?
of, except for they just
I
sort of
don't
plant
want.
themselves in.
I don't want
You
any.
could see them
I
crawling
don't.
through
Hey,
the
how
skin.
about you stop? All right.
Ugh.
I'm
Yeah.
sleeping in a garage where
Nah,
there's bugs.
nah.
All right.
Nah, ticks specifically burrow themselves into your skin, and the only way to get them out is to light them on fire or a special.
So
pan
light
thingy.
yourself on fire.
Essentially, yeah. That's exactly how you do it.
I don't want to talk about bugs.
I am down for a new topic.
want to talk about food.
Oh,
I think there's so much we can explore with food.
chili cheese fries sounds so good right now.
From where?
George's.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
I still that you remember that? I have a story.
Oh my god.
Go.
We were in middle
It all
school,
started.
and it was kind of the end of middle school. We were getting closer and closer to like graduation, and the principal and the vice principal had decided to take all the guys. Well, to be fair, 2 female teachers took all of the girls in our class to go get food.
Because 2 of the girls out of our class got mad at each other
Yeah.
and started a big ass like
Oh,
gang
yeah.
war between women in our class.
Dude, I wish.
So the guys,
So the guys being all cool with each other were like, well, why don't we get to go get food?
Yeah.
And because we had the greatest teachers ever,
Mhm.
they were
we
like,
went to George's.
yeah, they were just like, you guys want to go get food? And we were like,
It was great.
Yeah.
The only problem was when I got there, I went to order
This,
my
first
food.
of all, this man has never been to George's.
I had never been to George's yet.
I don't think I've ever been to George.
I
Oh,
think
you
have.
haven't lived.
You
then,
definitely
brother.
have at least
How?
once. I don't
Oh
know,
yeah,
probably with
no,
us.
he has
Wait,
because
what's George's?
yeah, because we used
George's
to
is
meet
on
down
40th.
at George's. Yeah,
Wait, what?
George's Burgers. It's on 40th.
Oh.
it's by
Oh,
the
that's
Del
JB,
Taco.
or BJ or
George's Burgers.
Burgers?
That's what it's
Burgers?
called.
Oh wait, no, it's that one place with the giant burgers.
Sure.
Yeah,
So,
the burger
I-
place that has burgers. Yeah.
I
Oh,
go to
that's chili
order-
fries?
Oh God.
Yes.
I go to order, and I get a burger because it's George's Burgers. I thought, okay,
Okay.
and a side of fries, and I got a drink, large drink, and then I saw that they had chili cheese fries on the menu as well. And thinking of like In-N-Out, I thought, the little packets they have. If the audience has ever been to In-N-Out, you know that when they give you like a side of fries, or you order fries alone, they give you a little box with fries in it. They can stack a bunch, but usually it's in a little packet, right?
Yeah, like it's not that big.
Yeah. So I thought George's would do the same thing. I didn't realize
Now-
that
now
these
mind
chili
you,
cheese fries
yeah.
were not on the sides menu.
Yeah. Now
It was on the
let me
normal
remind
menu.
you that I also
Yeah.
told this man, you're gonna get a burger
Yeah.
combo and chili cheese fries, and he went, well, yeah. And
I
I
didn't see a
warned
problem.
him.
I didn't see a
was
problem
like,
with it,
they're
'cause
big.
Well, yeah, you said it was big, but I thought that again.
It was just
I
a
was
larger
still keeping in my mind In-N-Out. I was like, well, if they're as big as In-N-Out or a little bit bigger, I'll be fine. And I order it, and she brings me my burger, and
And
then
a
she goes,
plate of
"You
fries."
ordered a plate, the plate of fries, right?" And I go, "Yeah." She goes back, she grabs it, lays down a
Whole other plate.
whole other plate just as big as the plate that was holding the burger and side of fries alone,
Guys,
and it was
full
filled
of
to
chili
the
cheese
brim
fries.
with chili
I could
cheese
go for
fries.
some George's. I want to
Honestly,
try that.
it sounds
Can you go
really
to George's?
good.
If anything, you can only go in
Order out.
You can only
inside
go to the
get like
drive-thru.
pickup orders.
Oh yeah, drive-through.
They
'Cause
have
they
drive-through,
opened up
but
the
they're not 24 hours
Oh.
like
yeah.
like Del Taco and McDonald's and all that stuff.
Honestly, most things should be 24
Okay, but
hours.
want to know what I've been craving?
At least right now.
Yeah.
Want to know what I've been craving recently?
What?
Corky's,
Oh,
Corky.
Corky's.
the pie place.
Yeah,
Oh,
Rialto.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah. For any of y'all that haven't been to Corky's,
It
ooh,
is
It's
beautiful.
pretty good.
breakfast foods. Oh,
Dude, their pie
so
alone is a
yeah,
reason
their
to go.
pie alone is
Like,
just
If you thought like the old Coco's was good, like
oh.
you don't even know.
Remember when Coco's was a thing?
Oh
Dude,
yeah, yeah.
when it was down on Arden and
Yeah,
Yeah, dude,
well,
I
there
loved
used to be
Coco's.
a lot of Cocos.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah. They
now
were
it
a
just
big
doesn't
chain.
exist
I don't see them
anymore.
anymore. Does Coco
they're
still
around, I
exist?
think.
Do y'all
Write in the
remember?
comments down below.
Yeah, do you guys remember Marie Callender's as well?
why?
I don't know if I've ever been to Marie Callender's.
Marie Callender's used to be big too.
I know of it, but
I thought that was like a shopping place.
I'm not gonna lie. So did I.
It's definitely like a chain, like Corky's.
Mm.
It's kind of like that, but they used to have like a salad bar and stuff. Okay, if y'all ever been to Sizzler, it's pretty much the
I've
same
been
setup.
twice, I think.
Yeah, you know how they
but-
have the giant salad bar that doesn't
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
have salad. Like they have like, okay, here's
Mhm.
some of like chicken stuff and all
Mhm.
that. It's kind of like that, except a little bit smaller scale.
Yeah.
But it was like that, and they used to have like 3 like over here, and now there are none.
Yeah, a lot of places are disappearing. A lot of places are disappearing because of the virus now, not just food, but like other chains too.
Oh yeah.
I heard movie
definitely.
theaters, like big ones, are going bankrupt.
AMC apparently is getting bought by like Amazon
That's insane.
because AMC is like one of the most expensive movie theaters right
Yeah.
now. Like over in our area, it's the most expensive.
Definitely.
Well, apparently, to keep it from going bankrupt, Jeff Bezos like bought AMC.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Uh,
which I don't know how that's gonna work.
for the information of the viewer, yeah, Coco's does exist. It just
It still exists.
yeah,
Really?
there's according to the internet, there's 39 restaurants in California and Arizona.
Only 39
Nevada.
though.
There used to
That's-
be way more.
Yeah, it used to be so
yeah,
much.
there's 39 in all, I guess, but in 3 different states, and it's California, Nevada, and
There's only 39 in 3 different states.
yeah.
Yikes.
Oh. Yeah,
So
I don't
it's
think they're doing
dying.
too good.
Yeah.
It's dying almost as fast as Burger King.
What?
Burger
I
King's
feel like
dying.
Burger King
No,
will never.
Burger King
It is
is
so
the
dying.
king of burgers.
I have not seen
That's
that
a
many
lie.
No.
Okay, there's
No.
the one over.
No.
There's the one over next to
Even
next
if they
to
still
Walmart.
are there, it's not the king of burgers.
There's the one down
Yeah.
on next to Universal Avenue.
Good.
Then there's the one over there's another one. I can't. It's in a different direction. Oh, whatever. But those are the 2 main ones. And then what are you doing?
What?
Too bad we don't have cameras yet.
But you can fight me because Burger King is the best
Burger
restaurant.
King is
in
It's
not
the
the
world.
not.
best.
You can
Sorry,
fight me
best
on
They
burger
got
restaurant.
good from what I
Okay.
hear from
For
you.
fast
The
food.
chicken fries. What are those?
Oh
called?
yeah, the chicken fries.
The
That's like
Whopper?
Yeah.
that's the only thing they got going for
If
them
you
right
can
now.
give me a Big Mac, a Whopper, a Baker's
That-
double,
What about a Baconator from Wendy's?
okay,
That shit
Oh,
is so good to
that's
me.
pretty-
that is good, but it's a good second for me.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I have a question for you
prefer
guys.
the Whopper?
Yeah, the Whopper is amazing.
I have
if
a
they make it
question
right.
for you guys
Mm.
concerning food.
'Kay.
What was a food that you didn't try till recently that you're ashamed to admit?
It was pretty good.
Yeah,
Mushrooms.
really.
I hated mushrooms. And because I don't eat it often, but you
Yeah.
know, I'll get it in like stews or pizzas or whatever.
Yeah.
I hated them. They sucked. They tasted like garbage. And now I sit there and I'm like, this actually kind of tastes like pretty good. I kind of like it.
I would kind of, just buy that, never mind. Isaac got
One
me
thing I
distracted and I
used
forgot
to-
what I was going to say.
One thing
I
to
was
kind
gonna
of
ask
make
if that
it
was
go
Aaron
like
from The
the
Office.
same question but backwards. I used to love olives,
Oh,
and I'm not a big olive fan
same.
anymore.
I used to like olives as well.
I hate
Okay.
olives.
Any food chains that you just recently tried that you're
Ooh.
ashamed to like say like, oh god, I can't believe I just had this. Like
I guess Cane's. I didn't like Cane's.
you
at
didn't like
first,
Cane's, but now it's
but it
kind
was.
of like
I think
okay.
honestly,
pretty
my
good.
thing about Cane's was that I didn't like it because of like social things that happened.
you
I didn't like
associated it with
because
bad memories.
Yeah, bad memories happened at Cane's, and
I
then
can't.
recently
Understandable.
I still don't like the fact that they only sell one item in different variations.
That's what makes it better.
No, it doesn't. You're ordering the same thing
Shut your
for
mouth.
different amounts of money.
I mean, okay, but Chick-fil-A does the same thing. It's the same.
I have
it's the
never once
same
said I like
thing.
Chick-fil-A.
don't like
I hate
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
Well,
Oh,
no, actually, I like Chick-fil-A if it's. I like it if I'm
I-
craving chicken and there's
I'm
no
ashamed to
Cane's around.
say how much I love KFC. I would die for that.
I don't like-
And it's very unhealthy. Have
I'm
you
sorry.
ever gone to KFC recently and ordered just like a regular plate of chicken?
I can't get behind
That is
KFC.
so unhealthy.
it is, but it's really good.
It's really good.
I
It's
don't-
the
I
skin,
prefer their
bro.
skin.
It's
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
skin.
I don't
yeah.
know why, but I prefer other kinds of chicken. I just don't like the whole.
What do you mean other kinds of chicken?
like, I get that you can order it not boneless or boneless, but I don't really. I prefer chicken strips over actual unless it's homemade.
oh yeah, well chicken strips are bomb.
Yeah.
Like I just
yeah.
don't like the.
I'm just saying my favorite
Type.
chicken from a fast food chain would probably be KFC.
I'd have to.
Cane's is
Understandable.
Cane's is close. Yeah, Cane's is a second.
I think
I've
you go
never
for
liked
Cane's
KFC.
not just for the chicken, but I feel like you go for the whole experience.
Yeah.
Like
Cane's
you
are-
go
yeah,
for
yeah.
like the
They
like
also
everything
have the ice I
around
like.
you.
I prefer that ice where it's like
Yeah.
all
the
little
the
bits
little
instead of
baby ice. Yeah.
clumps of ice.
Okay. I am ashamed to admit this. I had In-N-Out for the first time my junior year of high
well,
school.
No
that's
way.
recent.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Yeah.
No. There's no how.
Considering how much I love it now,
How do you?
That was the first time
Junior
I ever
year?
had it. Junior year of high
What
school.
was that? 4 years ago?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
In and out?
Yep.
I don't.
In and
trust-
out.
I don't trust it.
I swear. BRB, I gotta make sure that the recording didn't stop recording real quick.
Okay, what about you, Isaac? What do
I
you,
ain't
what do you,
gonna
what,
lie.
what about you for Brent's question? What was a food
I-
that you didn't like as a kid that you're ashamed to say you like now?
I
Well, just take it easy.
Whoa, just take it easy, man.
I don't think I don't
Do you
know.
like broccoli?
I don't like
Fucking hate
broccoli
broccoli.
still. I Okay, like how recent are we talking? Does it have to be recent?
Well,
No, it
was
doesn't have to be
junior
super
year.
recent because I started liking mushrooms like a couple years ago.
The
Mm.
most recent you can think of.
Do you like healthy foods now that you didn't like
I mean,
as
I
a
guess
kid?
Peppers.
Peppers?
I guess.
I could see that.
Except for I
Okay.
liked peppers
Because when
back
I was a
in the
kid,
day.
I was
just-
scared to eat peppers.
I guess I like
I
making.
know you used to think they were hot, but now it's
They're
like
really not.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
kind of like making them though. Like, I swear, don't get me wrong, I think it would work just as good with olive oil. But the thing is that if you cook peppers and onions in a vat with coconut oil, it makes a pretty tasty thing. It's kind of bland because of the coconut oil, but it's like if you put some salt in there.
Do you mean bell peppers?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I thought you meant like the
I meant bell
spicy, the
peppers.
spice
Also,
peppers.
Oh no, I don't actually
Rice.
hate those.
Oh,
I hate
I
rice.
love rice.
But rice is really good
Yeah.
if you make it right.
Yeah.
Brown
Yeah.
rice.
Well, there's so many different types of rice.
Yeah.
You know, like there's white rice, like white sticky rice and stuff. They got brown
What is
rice.
your preferred bean?
Mm.
Because I can go for a black bean, but only in like a what is it? Qdoba burrito, or maybe
That's
maybe
pretty
even
good.
what's the
Yeah.
other one?
Chipotle?
Chipotle.
Yeah.
I can get it there too.
I
But
like.
otherwise, I'm not a black bean person.
Okay.
Like
yeah,
I
I get
like
that.
alone.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Alone? Nah.
Let's say like generic brown bean for me.
All right.
I like refried beans, like
Yeah.
the beans you get. I barely was able to say that just now.
you used to come to my house and you go, "Hey, you got beans?" And I would go, "No, I don't have
Okay,
beans."
well, no. Here's the reason
you would
why
cook beans
this man,
at my house.
this man, every time I would come to this man's house, which was quite a bit.
Yeah.
He would always have big ass cans of beans, but I never once ever saw his family cook them. Like,
because we would
like
eat,
ever,
we
I
would
would
eat them.
never
we just wouldn't eat
see them.
Often. We'd cook them in a meal of other stuff with the meal, but like because you never saw us eat it, you'd come over and just, "Can I cook myself beans?"
Well, yeah, because I'd
I
be
didn't
like
wanna let
really.
you use my stove.
Well, because I was really, really hungry, like
some
90% of the time.
we
beans.
ate everything else in the fridge.
I know,
constantly.
but like I think part of it was because I guess he didn't trust me to use the stove, and I was like,
Yeah.
why not? I
I was
cook all
also
the
a
time.
bitch. I
Like
was also a bitch back in the day.
that is very true. You didn't do anything that you thought was wrong. Like
Oh yeah,
for sure, for sure.
things haven't changed. Huh? I
He's
still
he's-
follow the rules.
He's still a little baby bubble blowing.
Bubble blowing double baby.
Yeah,
Baby.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, we should have a podcast about SpongeBob.
SpongeBob,
Oh,
just
man,
purely
that would-
SpongeBob.
No, we'll save that for like a TV show podcast.
You know what? Oh man, we can't use this topic because Isaac doesn't watch it.
Doesn't
I was
watch
gonna
which one?
say, how do you guys feel about The Office?
I mean, I technically watch.
He
The
knows
Office.
some things. He's
Yeah.
just not super acquainted.
I'm not as acquainted as Joey and you. But
Yeah,
again,
'cause
I
you're a
prefer Parks and
loser.
Rec. Anyways,
My family would
I know
not
it's
say
not
I'm
a popular
acquainted.
opinion.
I was talking to my mom about the fact that I didn't remember that Andy came from the other branch. And she
Yeah,
goes,
you're.
"Oh, no worries. I don't expect you to know Office things anymore." I was like,
Oh,
"What?
What do you
Yep.
What do you mean? I
mean?
still like The Office. I'm just not one of those people who binges shows more than 3 times. I'll binge a good show that I like maybe twice in my life, but after a while, I don't like watching shows 3 times and more.
yeah. I don't.
It just gets old.
I
I'll
don't
watch
agree.
good episodes, but I'll never watch the whole show through again.
Oh yeah, I'll do
Does
that.
that make sense? Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. Except for you did with Death Note like
I mean,
twice.
I can understand why.
Mhm.
I mean, my mom's kind of the same way. Like, I'll put something on like The Office, And she'll be like, "Oh, like, why are you watching the same thing over and over again?" And it's like, well, you know what? Like, fuck you, guy. Like, I'm just trying to
Yeah.
watch The Office. You know, like, what's the big deal? Like,
Fuck you, Mom.
You guy of a woman.
like, who are you? You think you like, birthed me or something? Like, who do you think you are telling me I can't watch The Office like 8 times? Like, why not? Like,
I
I heard a sound.
I don't know what that was, but I'm not going outside to
I'm
find
gonna
out.
guess it was a
give
demon.
me all the eggs and bacon you have.
For those
Oh,
of
well,
you
I mean, if
listening,
we're gonna go,
'cause you probably didn't hear it. We heard a sound.
yeah, we heard a
outside.
very loud bang. Okay, well, that brings me to my next
Bang, bang
topic
into
of
the
discussion:
Okay.
ghosts.
Ghosts.
Don't exist.
Right.
You didn't even let me
Sorry.
ask the question. Do you believe in them? Why? Why not? Have you ever, if you do, have you ever had an experience where you were like, okay, like, this might, this might be it. Like, this might be it.
I'm gonna let Isaac go first because none of us are gonna enjoy his answer.
Yeah,
Shut
none of
up.
us are gonna agree
but
with
then
it. But
when he's
like,
done, I'll go. Go ahead, bud.
Okay, I don't believe in ghosts. I believe in demons. I think that if you think you see a ghost, you see a demon. But to say the least, I think that to quantifiably, like, have a ghost, you'd have to have something that legitimately qualifies as seeing, like, a past person. Like, you'd have to be able to verify through their action or some crap like that. That's like, but even then, it can come back down to like, hey, they're just messing with you or some crap. But I don't believe in ghosts specifically because I think that a soul can't be manipulated like that freely. I think that it goes one way or the other, and the only way to do it is like summon it. But other than that, it doesn't stay around for more than like 5 minutes. It just
well, I
it
think
goes back. It's like a
summoning
call
is like
instead of an
a
actual
demon
summoning.
type deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I believe in demons.
Well,
Joe, you can go.
I don't know necessarily, but I definitely do believe that there are traits that I can't explain at times. Now, to call it a ghost, I don't know. But
I've definitely been scared
I've
shitless by
definitely
something I
been
don't
in
get.
been in moments that I had to be like, that doesn't work. That's not how the real world works.
And honestly, I think I've been there for like
Most
all
of
of
'em,
them.
yeah. I mean, I think there's only been 3 times in my life where I've experienced some pretty gnarly shit.
that we can
One of 'em
like can explain.
Would have been at my church when we were. How old would we have been?
Oh,
We were in
we were in high school.
high school.
So freshman year. I
Yeah, it would have
think.
been like
Yeah.
freshman, sophomore year, and we go because we're helping move books for the book fair for community service.
And mind you, before you continue this story, I think it's very notable to say like nobody was talking about this, like, because I feel like when
No.
people start talking about like, oh, like ghost this, ghost that, I think you kind of trick yourself into thinking something happened when it didn't. Mind you, that was never a thought in our brains
Yeah.
like that entire time. Like, we literally got pizza and we're eating pizza in a
Yeah.
room. Like,
Yeah, dude. We
Yeah.
like he was saying, we're in the room eating pizza. We're taking like a break, or we hadn't started yet. I don't remember, but
because it
We're
was like a
just-
half day.
yeah, we were
Something
just
like that.
chilling,
Yeah.
eating pizza, and in this room, I believe 3 occurrences happened that
3
just-
things happened,
we just couldn't really
and I
explain.
think only one of them was really like, okay, that's a no for me.
Yeah.
Like,
One of them, well, I don't know. Okay, because there was one that I know could have been anything. It could have been like air
yeah,
conditioning.
yeah.
Because there were streamers and stuff on the roof.
But
and
2 of them, there was
2 of
no
them
way.
just
I was like,
moved,
nope.
and they shouldn't have been able to move, from what I think I understand. But we could have seen things. It could have been wind or air conditioning or something. So I kind of don't count that one. I don't want to count something that was blatantly
Yeah.
like, I don't know. The other 2.
Yeah, the other 2.
There was a rocking chair. This is like, okay, so we're at the church, but the church also acts as a preschool. And the preschool has rooms for toddlers, and this was one of the toddler rooms, and we're just sitting there eating pizza on our break. So there's like a little rocking chair for a baby, and
But this ain't no like light rocking chair. Like, this
No,
is like
a
solid
heavy
wood
and
rocking
it's
chair.
electrical.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
starts
yeah.
rocking on its own. By the way, that's our first no-no. But even if you want to say maybe there was like a glitch in the system or something,
That shit was
it was
unplugged.
not plugged in. And we didn't enjoy that little fact. So, you can believe it. You don't have to believe it. I don't care. The second thing was the worst thing.
The second thing just shouldn't have happened.
There was a toy baby.
Now, mind you, I don't fuck with dolls, so that was
yeah.
the first.
It was one of those little
No.
things that when you lay it back, his eyes close, and then when you raise it up, his eyes open. One of those creepy
GG.
little shits.
They were called GGs.
That little turd was laying on the floor on one far side of the room with all the other toys. Isaac rolls his eyes in disbelief.
I've heard
But
this
it's
story.
fine because we don't care about his opinion.
We start eating the pizza. We're all sitting. None of us are moving.
Now,
so
mind you, no one noticed this baby
no one
before.
noticed it.
Like, it wasn't like we just picked that out to be creepy.
Yeah.
Like, we were just minding our
It
own
was
business.
just a toy for us.
Yeah.
And while we're eating, at some point,
Did we? Oh, I think we helped your mom
yeah,
move bookshelves or something.
yeah, probably.
So we all.
But when we were back, the
left.
thing was the toy was not in the same place. It was on the other side of the room, and it's a pretty decent sized room.
Yeah, this was
It's
big.
on the
like,
other side of the room, and it's sitting in a little toy chair, just the size of the
Like,
baby.
perfectly placed. Like, it
Perfectly
wasn't no,
suited
like.
for the baby.
Like, oh, like
none of us
it's
liked
on its
that.
side or anything. Like,
So you're
this
telling
thing
me-
was sitting on the chair.
So you're telling me you left the room and came back and it was in a different position.
Listen, buddy.
So you weren't like just sitting there and all of a sudden, oh, it's over there. You left
Honestly,
the
I don't
room.
remember. I just know that
I just
in
remember
a moment
It
that
was
we weren't
not in the same
noticing
place. Like,
It wasn't in the same place.
Okay.
We could have been in the room. We could have left. I'm not sure, but it was in a moment where we weren't paying attention to it that it wasn't in the same place anymore.
but you said there was 3 experiences for you,
Yes.
so that was one of
Um,
them.
Boo.
The other one happened when I actually made a video about it. It was when we went ghost hunting,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
oh boy, there was a couple.
There
that
was a
like,
couple where I
don't like that."
definitely-
It was weird. Like the first big one, and I think probably the biggest of the night was
Yeah.
the school.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I don't like talking about
Now,
it.
mind you, this was in Redlands, and Redlands is like known for being like
Yeah.
a very like spiritually active place because it's old.
Yeah.
You know, it's like an old place.
Yeah,
Me.
it was.
yeah.
It was weird. So, where did we go?
So we went to this elementary school. I don't remember what it was called. We went with friends, and
Yeah.
they knew all the places we were
Yeah.
going to because they lived there in Redlands. So we were like, okay, yeah, I'm down for the ride because I believe in ghosts. But that's a different story.
Well, the thing
but
was, it was late at night. It was like 1 in
we
the morning.
started at 11 because
Okay.
we started when it was like late, and
So
then
did
I
we
think
get
we
there at, like-
ended at around like
What time would we have gotten
3?
to the school?
I think we got there at like 11:30, 12,
Okay.
something like that.
Well, we start walking in, and this place seems. It's a weird mixture of it seems like it's abandoned, like no one's there. However, the first red flag was that all of the doors were unlocked and
Well,
opened.
Well,
And
it's
all
a
of the
school
l-
that's currently open.
Well, no, I know that. I know
But
that.
it-
That's why I'm saying it was a
yeah.
weird mixture of it looking like it was abandoned, but it was also like in use.
because you can tell it's old,
Yeah.
but you can also tell people are still using it actively.
The weird thing was the 2 entrances to get in were both
Were
completely
wide
unlocked
open.
and wide open.
And let's also, you can't forget the fact that every light in the school was
every
on,
single light was on. Every
but
single one.
nobody
And we
was
thought
there.
because we are
Right,
skeptical.
When did
nobody
you
was
guys
there.
show up to that place?
It was like 12:30 at night,
Yeah,
and
Okay.
we're a little kind of concerned.
and it's during summer.
because we
Remember,
were
this
skeptical.
was during
yeah,
summer.
this was during summer.
Yeah,
We're a
Yeah,
little
but
skeptical, so we're
there's
like
a
maybe
chance
it's like a
that-
janitor or something.
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
somebody's
there's
that
also-
was the first. That was the first.
But the
Okay.
thing was, we walked around the whole campus.
and there was no
if
cars.
someone was there, they
was-
would have seen us. Unless
Oh,
they
yeah.
were shitting for
Yeah.
a long time.
It must have, like, we were there for a good maybe
Oh, yeah.
30, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like,
We start walking around, and the whole point of the school, the big story that caught everybody's eye, was that there was this child. I don't know if he
Yeah.
died or whatever, but the point was something happened to him in
he
the
he got
nurse's
hit by a
office.
car. He
Hit-
got hit by a truck,
hit by a truck,
but he
okay.
didn't die.
He had to go to the nurse's
And
office, right?
yeah, and the closest place
Yeah.
to, like, get him medical attention was the nurse's office.
Hold up. You're telling me a kid gets hit by a truck
Yeah.
and they send him
It was the nearest place.
to the
No,
nurse's office.
because he was crossing the street from the school. He went to the school, and they knew that the closest place that they could have had him until
Well,
the paramedics came.
they would have been dumbasses because
was
A, when
there.
you're
The
hit by a
point
car, you're not
is,
supposed to move the
hey,
body.
pal,
B-
you had your turn.
Yeah. Let us
The
finish the
point
story.
is-
Fine.
The whole story is that since he had to go to the nurse's office,
Because he died in the
he died in the nurse's office. When you go up to the nurse's office, if you knock 3 times, he'll knock back. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
So this whole time we're there, the only reason we showed up was because we wanted to knock on the door.
Yeah.
So we're all looking for it, and while we're looking for it, a lot of things happened.
A lot of things
a lot of things.
happened.
I think the biggest one that I actually caught on
I
camera.
think both of us collectively should say the thing, because stuff happened to me alone.
Well, no, yeah, there was a lot of things
and
that
then
happened
stuff
to everybody.
happened to everybody else.
I think the
too.
biggest thing that I caught on camera was
Oh.
the trash cans.
Yeah,
because that didn't make any sense. There were 4 trash cans on
Mm.
the bottom, stacked in a tower.
Yeah.
So 4, 3, 2,
it was
1.
a pyramid. Yeah,
a
it was
pyramid
a pyramid.
of
How big did you
trash
say
But these are like
trash cans
big
are
trash
like
cans. Like,
half the
industrial
size,
size.
So like 3 feet,
yeah,
3 feet tall, I guess.
3 to 4 feet.
3 to
yeah.
4 feet. All of
5
them are stacked up
feet.
into a very tall pyramid,
said it
and
was a
on the
3-layer
very
pyramid?
top was a chair
4.
sitting on
4.
top. And even if that doesn't sound weird to you, which by the way it should, it was facing the exact direction where we first saw it. We could have come from a different angle, but it
Yeah.
was facing us.
And
from
the
the angle
fact
we
that
came
there
from.
was a chair
yeah, why was
on
there
the
a chair?
on the very
Who
top
the hell
of
took the
it,
time
and,
to
like,
put it there?
And like, how would you do it?
It was too
That
tall.
was
As
yeah, it was
teenagers.
really
it was
tall.
too tall to reach it.
Like that
Yeah.
was the. I think that was the problem. Like, I
Very
think
strange.
it was in a really odd place
Yeah.
for us to just walk into it
Hmm.
facing us. First of all, that was just weird because we all walked around the entire school.
Yeah.
So the fact that none of us saw it until we all collectively got together
Yeah.
was very weird.
That was the main one for me, except the big one that happened at the end. But
that
what,
happened to all
what
of
about
us.
the
Yeah.
other things that happened to you and the others?
Yeah. Well, I know when we first went in there, I remember Sarah, she did not want to go in there at all.
Yeah.
Like, she was fine, and then 1 minute, as soon as she got to the gate, she was like, I'm not going in there. She was
Fuck
very
this shit, I'm
she's
out.
very against it, and like we don't really understand why.
Yeah.
But like
She was very scared. the whole
obviously
time,
when we
whole time.
went in there, we could understand why.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But we were there. Okay, so like to set it up, it was me, Joey, our friend Sarah, our friend Serenity, and our friend Sophia.
Yeah.
And I was driving. We had my car because at the time I had a really big car. So it was all of us. So what, 5 people? Yeah, like 5 people.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah stayed outside. Until coincidentally, I think that's even crazy too. Coincidentally, the only time she walked in was when we saw the chair, or yeah, which was very strange. But before that, Sophia and Serenity, they went off by themselves, and it was
Mhm.
me and Joey, and I saw them walking across the campus. Like I saw like their shadows or
Yeah.
whatever walking. So I was like, okay, at least I know where they're at. But then we got to the we got to the trash cans, and they were right next to us. But I saw them across the entire field. And
Yeah, who you saw was not them.
yeah.
Was basically
Oh,
the main
most
point.
definitely was not them.
Because they
uh,
were next to us pretty much
yeah.
the whole time, just in a place we didn't see until the
Yeah.
trash.
I
cans
also
happened.
think it's very notable to say I felt very, and I have a feeling it was for all of us. I think
we
there was
all-
at a point where we were all very discombobulated. Like
Yeah.
even though we were next to each other, it was kind of like a
And to note, we
like,
have
what?
not at this point found the nurse's office yet.
Yeah,
We had no idea
yeah.
where it was.
and I think that was a very strange. It was a strange feeling because we were all close to each
Yeah.
other, but for some reason we felt very far away, which
Hey,
was kind of
pal,
awkward.
Don't do that. You rub your hair on the mic, they can still hear the.
Yeah,
So it makes for good ambiance.
No, there's no. That's not ambiance.
it doesn't.
Oh.
That's just a thing I have to edit out now.
Oh.
Anyway,
that was strange. And then I'm not gonna say the main event that happened, but after that,
I mean, the blinking
after
red
we
lights.
got into the
there.
car, I mean Joey knows something about that got me in a really
Oh, you
weird
and Sarah were
mood,
fucked up.
and we have it on camera. Like I was like, dude, like you need to
There
like
were so
turn
many
your
clips.
fucking camera
Yeah,
off.
there were
Like
so many clips I
need-
had to
yeah.
cut out because you guys were getting so freakishly scared.
because it wasn't
and
really
annoyed.
scared. It was just I was so angry for
Yeah.
no reason.
The big the
yeah.
big thing that happened at the end was by the time that all of this crazy stuff had happened, we see the trash cans, all these lights are on, but no one's there, all the gates are open. We're still looking for the nurse's office at the end of the day. So we kind of, tuck in our shirts, we zip up our zippers, and we say
We were just like,
we
this
got-
is
we
the
gotta
main
keep,
event.
We got to
This is what
keep
we
looking.
came here for. Yeah.
So there was only one path in the school that we hadn't taken yet, and it just goes like straight up to the end of the campus.
Mind you, that should have been the first pass because it was
Yeah.
so deadly obvious that
Yeah.
that was the way to go.
But we didn't. So it was the
Yeah.
last place. And so we start slowly walking up. All of us are tired. We all don't feel well now because of that weird stuff that we had noticed. And
Adrenaline.
when we start walking up the path, there was only a right turn at the end of the path. And we assume, now we can't say for certain, we
That was the
assume
nurse's
that's where the
office,
nurse's
yeah.
office was because it was the only place we didn't check. 3/4 of the way up the path,
Well, because it was just me and you
Yeah.
at that point. The girls,
were slowly walking
Yeah.
to there as well, but they were far behind us. Just you and me. We got 3/4 of the way up.
This is like I've never been so fucking scared. Like
Out of nowhere. Now, we should premise this. We probably shouldn't have been on the campus necessarily. It probably
it
wasn't.
was definitely trespassing. Like it was definitely like
yeah.
could have gotten
So,
arrested for minor like trespassing. Type.
Knowing that fact,
We were already on edge.
we were already on
already
edge.
Yeah.
And in the distance, there's a soccer field, and just like a play area for the campus. And past that is the road that surrounds the campus. On that road, it's also a hill. I know it's kind of hard to explain, but there's a hill, so you
Yeah.
can't see the cars that are on that road.
But you can see their lights.
Definitely
Like
see their lights.
yeah.
Out of nowhere, there were flashing red lights very quickly coming up the road that only leads to the entrance of the school.
But was very strangely bright.
Strangely
Like, I'm
bright.
talking,
it
like,
filled
lit
the
up
whole
the-
air.
Yeah, and we're not talking red and blue lights.
No, it was not
We're
red
not
and blue. It was
like
just
we're talking
red.
flashing
Kept
red
flashing
light.
red.
Yeah.
And so we
No
immediately
noise either.
Yeah, no
like,
noise
no
at
noise,
all.
no
just
siren,
red
nothing.
lights coming
yeah.
up the distance. And we, before thinking anything, supernatural, we
We were
thought
like,
we're
this is it.
fucked.
This is the cops. Like,
Yeah,
we
we're
gotta
about
get
to
out
get
of
in
here.
trouble.
Yeah, yeah.
So me and Brent immediately turn around and start running to the car.
Yeah.
And the girls are
yeah.
like, "What happened?" And we're going, "We gotta get out of here."
Yeah. And to be fair, now that I think about it, did they ever see the
they
red
didn't
lights?
act any different,
Yeah.
and they should have seen it.
Yeah. Because they were
So-
just scared because we were like, we gotta go. Like,
It's
we gotta
very
go.
weird.
Yeah. And
So
they were only
we-
like 5
Oh,
feet
yeah,
behind
they
us.
were
It
not
wasn't
that
like they
far.
were like barred.
So we
you know?
run back to the car and we get out and we leave. And like I tried to mention, the road only led to where we currently were.
Yeah, like we knew if
That
if it was the cops,
If it was
they
the
would have
cops,
been in my
they
car.
They would have
Like-
literally gotten to where we were at
Yeah.
before we got away, but there was no cop car. We get out of the campus. We drive away. We stop for half a second, and that's where all these clips that I wasn't able to put out, where Brent was
Yeah,
yelling at me,
yeah.
were. And then we kind of calm down
We were kind of just like, what the
get our
fuck
senses
was
back.
that?
Yeah.
Like,
and we start driving. But as we get going, we're like, none of that made
None of
any
it-
sense.
It was just so discombobulated. Like
Yeah.
none of it made any logical sense. It was
Yeah.
just a very confusing
Yeah,
situation
exactly.
to be in. Now, mind you, for the skeptical side, like Isaac,
Haha.
I do understand. We were under a lot of stress. We were definitely, like,
definitely.
okay, like
Adrenaline was
we
flowing.
we weren't prepared. Like, we're letting you guys know now. Like, we were not prepared to go into the school. We were just gonna walk
No.
around the fence. But then when we seen that, like,
All the doors.
all the lights were on, all the doors were open, we were like, well, is it worth the risk? And to be honest, I think it was worth the risk. I think it was
awesome.
a really scary but cool
Yeah.
thing that we got to experience.
And there were other minor things that happened throughout that night that still kind of were a little sketchy. Things like your old school. We had the
Yeah,
turn. The
yeah.
turn was
No, wait,
pretty
I'm,
crazy.
I'm gonna talk about that
Okay,
one
okay.
because that one was one of my scariest. Like, where I was like,
Yeah.
okay, that was not something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you had another experience. You said there's 3 experiences.
Yeah, I don't talk about the third one.
Oh, you talking about the third one that happened with me?
Maybe. I don't talk about that night.
I think you should talk about that night because that was
Nah.
some shit that we proved. I think that was the scary part of it. Was that was something
Yeah, but you tell
that
it better.
was
You would be able to like get it across
All
better
right,
than I
yeah.
because that night just screwed with my head.
Yeah. Okay. Well, to clarify, for people like Isaac who are very superstitious,
The
I-
opposite of that, in fact.
or not superstitious, but is very
Skeptical.
skeptical. My bad. Yeah, that's what I meant. I've been. I'm in a very multi-generational house. We're gonna start with that.
Yeah.
My great grandparents, I believe, bought this house from a man who built it for his wife, and she ended up getting cancer, and she died 2 months before they moved into the house. And he said that he couldn't bear moving into him and his wife's dream house. So he sold it to our family.
Yeah.
Extremely cheap. Now, mind you, that's generations, so it's even cheaper than you would expect it to be.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, multiple generations of family lived in this house, which means multiple generations of shit has happened.
Yeah.
My great grandpa had a disease where his blood would not clot. So, and he also at the time had a form of cancer which he beat, but the blood clots were still like a major issue for him. And my grandma was actually there to witness this because she was young, and obviously it was her father, my
Mhm.
great grandfather. But he got a nosebleed at the dinner table, and he went into his room, and he bled to death on his bed.
Ah.
Yeah. And now, fast forward, I'm about, I would say, probably in kindergarten or first grade. I was young. I was
Mhm.
young. Dang, Ewok, that was
Yeah,
loud.
You heard that snore? That was
Yeah, that was Ewok.
Isaac's dog.
Yeah, no, he was exhaling. He just woke up.
So what? That would put me at about 6, something like that.
Yeah.
6 or 5, 6, something like that. I remember this actually pretty clearly because it was when the PlayStation 2 was out. So whenever that was
nice.
out, it was around that time. But I was in my room, and I was playing on the PlayStation 2. Even remember the game because it affected me to this day.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, like, this story is like the story that's made me believe in like what I believe in with ghosts and stuff like that. Like, that's like, this is the whole turning point for that.
Mm-hmm.
But my power went out, and this was during summer. Which if you ever lived in California during summer, your power tends to go out a lot due to
Yeah, dude.
due to, so many coolers and everything being on.
Mhm.
But my power went out. And you know how if you have a really dark, black screen on a TV, you
Mhm.
can see a reflection in it. But on my bed, there was a man sitting on it. And when you're young, you don't really freak out that much about that stuff because you don't really understand what it is.
Mhm.
So I was like, what? Like, what was that? So I turned around and looked at my bed and there was nothing there. So I was like, okay, well, that okay, whatever. That was probably just me or whatever. And I walk out of my room and all of the power is still on everywhere in the house but my room. And I didn't have a cooler or anything like that. So I was not running air. It wasn't like, just one fuse blew and it happened to be my room. That's not what it was.
How do you know that wasn't what it was?
Well, considering my power turned back on as soon as I walked out in the living room, it wasn't that because you'd have to reset the breaker or whatever. You have to go to the breaker,
Yeah, I
all that
think
kind
so.
of stuff. And my mom was in her room, so she was not doing that. But I'm young, so I was like, oh, whatever. You don't really think at 6 years old. Oh, it was a ghost. Like you don't really think about anything like that. I
Yeah.
was more focused on trying to play Tony Hawk's Proving Ground on PlayStation 2. That's what
That was
my
a
main
very fun
concern was
game,
on. Yeah. So I get back, I'm playing that. That's it. That's the story.
Yeah.
Now you go forward to 13. I'm in 8th grade.
Mhm.
And my family has a lot of pictures of like old family members and stuff on the walls and such because we have a very small family. And I'm walking in the hallway that I walk down every single day and happen to notice that one of the pictures was the same exact person I saw at 6 years old.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's strange.
Uh-oh.
I'm in danger. Yeah.
I'm in danger.
So I take the picture off the wall, and I'm gonna, because it's an old picture, I'm gonna go up to my grandma first, because obviously, like,
Yeah.
she's gonna know. So I was like, oh, who is this? Like, because this picture's on the wall, like, all the time ever since I was born.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And I've never even noticed who it was. And she's like, oh, well, that was my dad. He was a motorcycle cop and stuff like that. He was, fought in the war, like all that kind of stuff. And I was like, well, oh, like, like how'd he die? Stuff like that. Common questions you're gonna ask
Yeah.
any family member, obviously. And she was like, oh, well, he bled to death in his room. And I was like,
As one does.
yeah, as one does. I was like, what? And she, told me the whole story about like, oh, he had like this disease where his blood wouldn't clot, stuff like that. He had a bloody nose, and then he laid down and he died. He bled out. And I was like, oh, well, like,
Sorry.
it's fine. You can say it.
You hate to see.
You hate to
Hate
see
to
it.
see it.
You hate to see it. But so I obviously, after a question like that, I'm more, the most common thing to ask is gonna be, well, what room was his room? Because obviously I know that everyone lived in the house. And she went, well, yours. And I was like,
Boy, howdy.
And so you
oh,
were, kicked
boy,
out
have you lost your
of
mind?
your room.
Like, so
I'll
yeah.
help you find it.
So at 13, I think was when I really was like, this is that, like, that's some real shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I always kind of believed just because I had other things happen to me growing up in the house where I was like, that's weird. But I think after that moment, I was kind of like, okay, like that's not just a coincidence, I guess, But yeah, ever since then, I've always had some stuff happen. But I think like Joe, I think I had 3 times where I was like, yeah, this is it. Like this is like there's definitely some stuff that's not logically explainable. But the one Joe refuses
Bullshit.
to talk about.
Very logically explainable.
Your attitude is unexplainable.
Yeah,
Dude.
I'll let you get out of my garage and leave the podcast. Anyways,
What do you mean?
Roasted.
You say there's no logical conclusion, but I
let me
actually
finish
made
my
some.
stories.
Roasted.
Dang, dude, this is a
Jeez.
podcast. We talk for a reason.
Yeah.
All right.
Roasted.
Okay, continue.
All right, yeah. So, anyways, I think the second time is definitely the time with Joey that he refuses to talk about
Yep.
because it was something that just really I will never fully understand how. But we were with our friend at the time who was our teacher, and he also very much enjoyed some scary things.
Indeed.
And at this time, it's our senior year, so I've been to a lot of very haunted places where I was like, okay, like I definitely know some in our hometown, San Bernardino, which is very much old. Um, and there is what street is it? I think it's on E.
It's on E.
Yeah. Um, and it's a potter's field. And if anyone doesn't know what that is, it's a field where people who died that were too poor to afford an actual grave, whatever it's called, like a gravestone
Oh, yeah.
or a place to be buried, they would get buried there, and it's pretty much like a marked, unmarked place. Um, stuff like that nature. Um, but it's like known for being like a haunted place or some stuff happening. So I was like, yeah, let's go there. Now mind you, we went to what was it, Wingstop or was it Buffalo Wild Wings? It was one of
Probably
those.
Buffalo Wild
Yeah.
Wings at the time.
And it was on it was on a school night. It was on a Thursday. Remember that. But we drove down there because our houses are like right next to it, like 5 minutes away. And so we're walking around. And of course, I'm the only one there who is like, there's definitely going to be something that's going to happen. I walked by myself, as one does.
As one does.
And there's this big ass tree, like very distinguishable tree out of all the other ones, where it just looks creepy.
Mhm.
So naturally, I'm going to go and walk towards it. Now, this was like right when school started, so it was still like hot outside. Like it was like summer days, where it's like 90
Yeah.
Drifting away
80
ooh, off to the
at
side.
night,
No.
like till like,
Yeah.
whatever, like 1 o'clock in the morning, stuff like that in California. Um, and so it was pretty hot outside. And walked through like under the tree, and I shit you not, it was so cold I could see my breath. And it was like, now Isaac's gonna listen to the story. He's like, "Ha, bullshit." Okay, we all know.
Bullshit.
Okay, I'll give my
Um,
skepticism later, if
so-
that's okay.
So at that time, I'm not even gonna lie, I didn't really believe it either. I was like, "That's a coincidence. There ain't no way." So I step out from under the tree, and then it's hot as shit. So it was like, that's weird. So being smart, I took out the weather app, right? And you know how like it uses your location or
Yeah.
whatever to like mark like, okay, like how cold is it, how hot is it, all
Mhm.
that kind of stuff. So it was like about like 86, something like that. Like it was definitely in the 80s. I walked under the tree and it dropped to like 50 some degrees. Now, really didn't think that was natural.
Yeah.
And at the time, Joey's very skeptical. Like, very skeptical.
Because I didn't
Like
care
an
about it.
Isaac
Like
skeptical.
Isaac.
Yeah, I
skeptical.
didn't believe
Ver-
in
yeah.
most of it. I wasn't opposed to it, but I didn't believe it.
Yeah. Like, and we had that conversation in the car. He's like, yeah, no, like, I don't fucks with that. And it was like, okay, well, we're gonna go and try and find some ghosts. So, naturally, the first person I was gonna hit up was like, yo, Joey, you need to come over here. And so he gets there at the tree, and I was like, all right, now walk under the tree. And he did. And it happened to him too. And I made him get his weather app out. And we did it. And the same thing happened. And to this day, right after that happened, we got straight back into the car and we left. And Joey refuses to ever talk about it ever again.
Things like red
Kinda true,
lights
is it?
flashing and things like, baby dolls moving. Yeah, that's creepy, but that's like horror movie creepy. Like I've seen that happen in movies before. So it's like even
Jesus.
if that was to happen in real life, I don't know. My brain kind of sees it as kind of like a film, like an action, like something's happening and I can be there and I can see what. But when you go when that happens, I don't like it, especially with the weather app and all that. I don't talk about it. Brent always tells the story
Yeah.
because I don't like this.
What kind of tree was it?
I don't know. We could take you there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, but that was the thing about
Deal.
it too. We went back there.
Yeah.
And it
Was
didn't
it-
happen
we-
again.
Did we go back with Pat or without?
I don't remember. I think it was
Uh-huh.
without him.
Huh.
Yeah, I think
We've
so,
been
too.
back multiple times. I think we went with
We
with
went there
Alex.
with
We
you.
went with you.
We were there.
Oh, was it
Yeah.
the pine tree?
I don't know what tree it
I don't
was.
know what tree.
If it was a willow or
It
another
was a-
kind of,
It was a thick tree. It
Yeah, it
was
was-
thick with
It was
3
a
seats.
thick boy. Like
was its leaves large too?
I don't know.
Hmm.
Anyways,
Interesting.
I remember very clearly
certain
that
tree-
it did
certain-
never happen. We've been back multiple times. We've been there probably like 4 times
Certain
after that.
trees do produce moisture, and moisture can vividly change.
Well,
the
yeah, no, and I
atmosphere.
I
around
completely
you.
agree with that, and I think that was why at first I was very like, I don't know about that.
So it took a
But
second opinion to make sure that it wasn't.
I think it took going back at least 3 or 4 times after that, and it never happening again.
Yeah.
To be notable.
Uh,
Because if it was the tree, then it should be colder
not necessarily.
every time, especially if it's in the same temperature as it was that day.
So you went back every time at the same temperature?
We did go back, I think, twice at the same temperature. And then one, it was cold outside. It was like
so,
winter.
Wait,
Yeah.
the twice when it was cold under the tree was when it was the same temperature.
And it was only cold under the tree
It
once.
was only cold under
only
the
the
tree.
once. Wait,
Only
but
the
you
one
said
It was
time.
Joey
hot
said-
outside.
No, I'm saying it was hot outside when we went back to the
It was
same
hot
tree and it
outside
didn't
during
happen.
the night that
Mm.
it was cold. That's why it was such a significant thing about
But
it
then
being
it's like,
cold.
was
Yeah.
it windy? Was it
Yeah.
dry?
It was not.
It was
windy.
just a
was a
summer day.
normal
Like
night.
it was
No,
like a
it
normal
never-
summer
it
or
wasn't windy
summer
at
night.
all,
Yeah, no,
Ever.
no.
Every
when
time
you went
Because
back.
even if it was windy, you would feel
Except for
it being windy. It was
Potentially-
not. It
was not
was
windy.
not like a windy experience. It was a drop so cold that you see your breath type. It wasn't like a that was a brush
This
of
is San
cold air.
Bernardino,
I'm talking
California,
like
in the middle
yeah,
of summer.
but there's
Yeah.
a bunch of stuff that
And
can
it was
go
only,
into
like,
it though.
what? Wasn't
like-
that late either.
I'd say that
no, it
if
was
you
like
were gonna
9:30.
Yeah.
if you're gonna have a ghost story, I'd suggest just marking down as much stuff as possible so that everything.
Nobody writes down details when
That's
they're
why
in
ghost
a
stories
ghost
are
story.
so unbelievable because it's all just it's potential
Until you're in one.
for questioning.
Yeah,
though.
it's all skeptical.
Well, yeah, I
and there's
mean, like
no logical.
take me and Joey for instance. At least with that experience, and with the last experience I'm gonna share real quick, which will probably be the end of the podcast because
Wait.
You know how long this has been
I
going
would
on
like
right now?
to be skeptical for a couple.
No,
of
that's fine.
minutes.
That's fine. You can go after this. But when you're in that situation, I don't think you think of anything else besides I got to get the fuck out of here. Like,
Yeah.
and I
Life
feel
doesn't
like
matter.
that's an okay thing to ask of somebody, whether or not you believe in what they believe in or not. If you're in a situation that scares you like that, I don't think it should be asked of you. Well, why didn't you document it right when it happened? Like, no,
Why
like
didn't you
I'm
take
like,
notes on the air.
I'm not.
yeah,
I'm
no,
not
like,
criticizing you for doing so. I'm just saying that you can't 100% believe it and then go through with it without proper evidence. Or you can, but it doesn't make for a good
But
thing.
we're not asking you to believe it.
yeah, I'm not asking you to
We're
believe it. I'm
saying these
just
are
telling the
stories that
stories
And
of
again,
why I
that's why
believe in what I
said,
believe.
from the beginning of this whole ghost topic was that I don't necessarily believe in ghosts. I definitely
but
believe
I definitely
in
believe in
experiences
something
that happen that aren't
unexplainable.
explainable.
Like, yeah,
Mm.
for sure.
Try to
think-
explain 'em.
I think the last experience that happened
Yeah.
for me to be like, that's a no for me. Like, um, was the same night that we were all together. Um,
The school night.
yeah, the school night. Um, so we went. Our main goal was to go to like a whole bunch of other places. We were gonna go like four other places
Oh, yeah.
after the school. But I think the school took so much of our time because we ended up going inside and everything that we only hit like 2 more places after that.
Yeah.
And the last place was this road, obviously in like Redlands, Ukaipa area. And I know Serenity could explain it better because she was the one that like looked these up or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what the roads were. She knew exactly how to get
No,
there.
yeah.
But something about this girl going to prom is like what, like probably like 80s or 90s or something. It was like,
It was older.
yeah. She was going to prom, and someone picked her up, or the guy picked her up or whatever. And there's this like one-way road that has this like fat turn, like
It's
a really,
It's an insane.
yeah, like a really crazy turn.
What's the speed limit?
And he was drinking, and he like went down. He went to go down the road, and he missed the road. And you fucking, was it like what, like flipped the car or some shit like that,
It went right off.
and
instead
she
of going.
died and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then the rumor is supposed to be if you go down the road, some weird shit happens. You might see a girl like in a prom dress or whatever walking down the road. You hear screaming, some shit like that. Now, mind you, I'm not that type of skeptical where I'm like, oh my God, we're going to hear a girl scream, or we're going to, see a full girl in a prom dress. Like, because I've never had an experience like that, so I'm never going to be like, oh yeah, that shit's going to happen. But I was like, okay, something weird's probably going to happen though. Like, I just have a feeling something weird's going to happen. So we go down the road. Mind you, we're in my car, so I'm driving. And we rolled down all. I remember that very clearly. We rolled down all the windows and we turned off the music and everything. And I was like, everyone needs to shut
yeah,
the
that
fuck
was-
up.
that
Like, I
was-
was like, everyone
Again,
needs
this
to
is
shut the
after
fuck
the
up.
school thing.
Yeah, so we were all
I had the
paranoid
flash on
and
for my vlog,
mad.
and he got pissed.
Yeah, I was like,
Turn
yo,
that
turn the
fucking light
fucking
off.
camera off. Like, yeah,
"Oh."
crazy. I even was like, dude, don't even record it because,
Yeah, you were. Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
was
why
so
there's
mad,
No clip
never-
of that part.
yeah.
'cause I wasn't.
yeah. So I was like, don't fucking record it and shit like that. And the thing that happened here, it doesn't really sound like a big deal,
No.
but I think it was just like knowing that everyone in the car at the exact same time saw it and was like, that's impossible. Like,
Mhm.
I think because that's what it was like. And I know for anyone who's skeptical is going to be like, oh, I don't know about that. But I'm telling you right now, that shit was, it was impossible.
What
It
did you
was
see?
literally impossible.
What'd you
So
see?
we're driving down the road, obviously, and I'm driving hella slow. Mind you, this is a road that
Yeah, we don't want.
That
a
is-
lot of people
that is
still be going on.
popular for being
So,
a death warrant.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going hella. I'm probably not even going like 20 miles an hour. I'm probably
Yeah,
going
you were
like
going
10, 15, some shit like that.
Just make sure you don't fly off the
Especially
road.
for me, knowing me.
Getting to the turn, yeah, it's definitely one of those.
Yeah,
roads
getting
you
to the
wanna
turn,
take
you're
seriously.
hitting it like 15, like straight up.
The
like,
turn itself is like 5
Yeah.
speed limit. It's really sharp.
It's a very
insane.
windy road. It's a
That's
very
a-
windy road.
5
You're
speed
prac-
limit?
No, it's not a 5 speed limit. I'm
There
saying
is no speed limit
there's
sign
no speed
on
limit.
it.
During the turn, you would
Yeah.
to
So
be
make
100%
sure
safe. You'd
go
probably be
5.
going like 5
Because
miles
it's
an
like
hour.
a
You're practically doing a
It's-
complete U-turn.
yeah.
You
in space
can
that
walk
shouldn't allow
faster
for a
than
U-turn.
5.
Yeah. It's like I don't even really know how to describe. Mind you, we went on this road pitch black. Like it was like
Yeah.
Oh,
2
there's
a.m.
No lights or
So
anything.
and there's no
You had
lights.
your lights on, right?
So yeah. So I'm assuming, judging by the houses at the other end of it, that it's like a little shortcut to get to the rich area
Yeah.
of houses. That's the only way I can explain it, because without being in the light, I will never fully understand like where the fuck is this supposed to go? But it's there. And I remember I think all of us had the intent on like we're gonna we're gonna see a girl walk up, or we're gonna hear screaming. I think all of us were like hoping something like that would happen, but instead something completely different happened, and I think that's what made it weird. But we're going around, and mind you, it's like Joey said, it's a very weird curvy road. But you get to the last curve, and there's like a shit ton of trees. Like it's like little forest type, covered by trees, so you can't see the bend around. You can't see if there's anything there besides knowing like, okay, there's a road because I can see with my headlights, obviously. But because we're going so slow, we're able to like feel out everything. Like we took our sweet time. Like we took our sweet time on this road. And we see headlights passing through the bend of trees. So our first instinct was, oh, a car's coming. Let me pull
In
over.
the opposite direction of
yeah,
us. They're
yeah, the
coming
opposite direction. So we
in
knew
the-
that they were
yeah,
going to
they
be
were on the
coming
same
around the
road as
bend.
us.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm going to like pull over a little bit more because we're in the middle of
It's
the
a
road.
very thin road.
Yeah. So we can like, let him pass or
Yeah.
whatever. Because we're going to take our sweet time.
Mhm.
So we just go and we stop. Or we didn't stop. We
slowed
kept
down
going.
and
We
we
slowed
moved
down
more
like
over to the right.
yeah.
To let them pass.
But we were going, and the car never shows up. Now, that doesn't sound anything like
really doesn't.
significant. It doesn't.
when
It
you
doesn't
see it-
sound
Again, imagine
anything
like a
crazy.
mountain road. It wasn't the mountains, but imagine a mountain road where you have to turn. It's a longer turn, but
Yeah.
you can't see the end of the turn. But imagine instead of a mountain, it's a forest, so you can see through the trees.
Yeah, you
a
can
little
see
bit.
through the bend of trees.
And that's how we
yeah.
could see through those trees the headlights coming, and there's only one road.
Yeah, so we were like,
And
okay, he's coming. He's
It's
coming
coming
down
in
here.
our direction.
Yeah.
And we pull over, and within half a second, headlights are gone. There's no car that passes.
Yeah,
and
no car.
And we never stopped.
Yeah,
we
so
kept
we were,
going.
and I don't think any of us found that creepy until we got to the end
And there was
and realized that there was a sign there that said one way,
one big-
and it was a one-way road. But where we were at, that car was on that road, but he never showed up.
That one just
So
didn't sit well
that
with
one,
us.
yeah, it wasn't really a, oh my gosh, like that was like, we saw a girl, or, we heard screaming, or we heard this, or we heard that. Nothing like that. Honestly, if we weren't paying attention, we probably wouldn't have even noticed. Like it was something very insignificant. But for us to get at the end of the road and realize like he couldn't have gone down this road, or else he would have passed us, was a very, very weird thing to happen. I don't, but ever since then, I was like, this is like, that was real. I don't know. To me, I was like that was like a real
No,
moment,
it was-
because
it
that
was
was
crazy.
definitely something where it was like, to me, a very unexplainable moment where I was like, that, I mean, there's no other road to go on.
Yeah.
There was nowhere it could have gone. So I don't know, but that was mine. That was like my theory where I was like, that shit like got me, like, for sure.
Go ahead, Isaac.
Okay, so now that we pissed off all the skepticals in the audience, let's piss off some of this super
All the believers.
all the believers. Exactly. Okay, so starting with which one did you guys start with?
I started with the church.
Okay, church one.
I'm sorry, you should have been taking notes.
I just want to go in order. Okay, starting with the church one. You walk out of a room and a doll changes positions. There's a very likely chance someone could have possibly came into the room and saw, hey, there's a doll on the floor. Picked it up and put it in its proper place of sitting.
Okay.
The rocking chair thing, yeah, it's kind of weird, but wind and stuff. I need more.
We're in the building.
Yes. but
Air
it's called
conditioning
a
doesn't blow
draft.
hard enough.
A draft.
Windows were closed.
Where's the door open?
No, it wasn't. The door wasn't open because we
Did
were
the-
studying, and Joey's mom closed it, so there would be
Yeah.
no
So
noise
she did
interrupting
close
our
Yeah,
the
study.
because
door,
there were a
or-
couple rooms down the hall that were in use at the moment, and we didn't want to disturb them.
Okay, but either way, I need more information. And I guess I had to be there, but there's just a lot of things that could go wrong with that. Because like literally, if you sorry. Literally, if you like open a door or like do anything whatsoever that changes the air pressure within the room, things start swinging. It's just how it is.
All right.
Um. Uh. Okay, so those are the two church ones. What was that? What was next? Bread story or
After the church, I talked about how the school.
the school again? The shadows and stuff again. You're gonna hear me again with the whole light thing. Light isn't a very. It's a very weird thing because it reflects off everything. You can see a sunbeam reflect off a car window on the mountain, and you'll see like a little glint on the mountain. Like the way that it reflects off things and surfaces.
So we saw the sun.
What?
We
No.
saw the sun
I'm
at
saying that
12:30 at night.
light in general deflects and reflects very oddly, and
Okay.
I wouldn't know enough about it, but to say the least that
Well,
if-
first of all, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but to clarify, it wasn't seeing shadows. It was literally like silhouettes of people walking in the dark. It wasn't like like you could see the shadow cast on the
You saw
wall. Like I'm talking
two
like
people
saw two people walking, and I'm like, oh, that's our two friends that aren't next to us. So I was like, okay, they're over there.
there were
Like,
four of you and all,
Huh?
there were four of you.
Yeah, there
Five of
was
you?
5 of us, but Sarah
5 of
wasn't
us.
there
Okay,
at the time.
I don't know. Honestly, at that point in time,
Neither do we.
the whole unlocked. No, wait, I wasn't gonna say that. What I'm trying to say is that schools sometimes do this thing, especially elementary schools where they do year round. So the fact that all the doors were open isn't that unreasonable. Just because like
At
if
12:30 at night in the summer.
yeah, like dude, sometimes summer school like A, summer school, and B, schools sometimes go
They
to
leave them. They leave
all
them
year.
open. Like
There's a chance. I mean, and
It's
again,
also a kindergarten through
there's also-
6th grade school.
Yeah,
we
my
could
mom's
have
school.
literally taken whatever we wanted. We could have gone in any room,
no, I get that.
stolen
And again,
anything.
Yeah.
which we
janitor stuff.
didn't,
There
but
was also no car. I think if
There
there
were no
was a
cars either.
car
Yeah, there was no
somewhere
cars
on
either.
the
I-
property, I would have
Okay.
been like,
You're
okay.
saying-
Are you
like,
sure
I
that it
can
was the only
understand.
parking lot in the entire school?
We
Yes.
walked around the the
Yes.
entire
Mm.
campus. We walked around.
Because it was up in like the hills a little bit more. It wasn't
Yeah,
like in
well,
hill
because
ter-
there was
territory, but it
multiple
was-
parking lots. There was
yeah.
multiple parking lots, so we were like, okay,
the-
maybe someone's here. But we walked through all the parking lots. We
Mm.
walked around the whole campus, and
At night,
we were the only car.
At night.
Like we were the only car
at night with well, were there a
with
lot
all
of
the lights on.
were there lights in the parking lot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. But again, it's
That's
just,
what makes it strange. That's like
that's why we say we don't
that's
really
why it's
and
weird.
then
understand.
janitors, and if there are other people. Honestly, you could just say that it's unlikely that there wasn't anyone else there. But the fact of the matter is that again.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna rule
yeah,
out that nobody was there, but
possibly
I'm
There was
saying
probably
like
somebody there, sure, but we were also not being that quiet. We were quiet in the beginning,
So
but,
But
by
we
by
ended
the
up
trash
getting
cans,
loud,
we ended
yeah.
up kind of getting
My
like,
theory is-
"Ah."
my theory is that what if there was somebody else there and they thought you were somebody else, or like, and then they were like sneaking around too, so they like booked it. There's a good chance.
But
of
if
a
we
lot of
would,
things
there would have been a
happening.
car there.
But what if they didn't take a car? What if they just lived next to there? What if they were a student? Walkable
And
distance.
that's fine. So the trash cans.
For the trash cans, again, as I was saying, prank. It's easy to get on a chair, especially if they were 4. So that would be what is it, 3 feet tall? You said. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's 12 feet plus a chair. If you stand on a chair, if you have someone who is a teenager of average 6 foot, or not average, but like a taller person, then you can get up to 12 feet with a chair. And then as far as the chair itself goes, you can just sort of like tilt it on there. Like it takes some skill, but I'm fairly sure if somebody had the time and the effort, they would be able to get a stack of trash cans with the chair on top. Just how it is.
You know, whether it's true or not that it was paranormal. I'm sorry. I
It
don't
really
wanna meet the man
got
who
me.
did it.
really kind of
Yeah,
screwed
and
us
I
shake
was
his
like,
hand.
What the hell?
when you're
Like,
going in order to find the ghost on purpose, and then you see something like that, and for the podcast, I'll pop up a photo right now if I can find one. But it just didn't look Like,
It
who
wasn't
does
a
that?
natural.
Like, I understand
does
if
that?
you're, like,
because of the
Prank.
type of trash cans too.
It was just
Like,
a prank, bro.
I feel like
what
it's
kind of
just
prank is that?
yeah.
we made a pyramid
of
in a place
trash.
where is what is
Yeah.
known for having ghost stories and stuff. Somebody going in there
guess,
and setting up
but
a trash can to face the
don't know.
place where most people would go to find ghosts.
Well, I guess so, but I feel like you would just. It would have to be like, well, when did they get there? Because you also have to remember when it's a school, you're gonna have custodians, like you said, show up.
Yeah.
So I feel like as soon as a custodian would have seen that,
They would have taken it.
they would have been like, okay, I'm gonna take it down. You know.
So it had to have either
So it had
happened
to have
that
been
night
right before,
or
but that was impossible
just weird.
because there was no cars. We seen no cars leave when we got there. We didn't see nothing.
So what is your explanation for the lights?
for the lights.
Just that the,
For the
moon,
red-
the moon
the red
shines so
lights.
bright.
Oh,
that
that
the
thing?
red lights.
I'm still
And I'm just letting you know right now, they were not brake lights. I'm letting you, because I
I'm-
remember we tried to say
I'm
that
still
too. We were
thinking
like, oh, it
that-
was brake lights.
meh. I just think it's a possibility still because, like, as you're saying, there was a road there, and that road wasn't one way, correct?
no, it was 2-way.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's a chance that because it happens, cars could be going around a bend or something like that, and then there's no like backlights, but then all of a sudden there are, and then they go around the current. It's like a quick succession.
Yeah, but it would have had to been brake lights flashing consistently.
Or just taillights.
When you turn your brakes on, you have bright red lights.
Yeah, but if you turn your lights on at night, your brake lights.
Yeah,
your
but
tail
it
lights
wouldn't
are
have been
already
nearly as bright. I'm talking like this was bright.
Bright.
To
Were
where
you
it-
surrounded by
neon
like-
red.
was there lights around you guys during that point in time?
What do you mean?
Like when you
Yeah,
saw
what
the
do you
red
mean?
lights, were there like lights on all around you?
There were lights around us. Sure, it wasn't
Yeah.
like
But, like, were
it
they
wasn't.
bright?
It was like nighttime lights. Like
Yeah.
there were occasional lights that were on
Yeah.
so that we could see where we were going, but not a lot.
I'd still say that there's a possibility, but either way, and then there could have been a security guard. It could have been like again, there's just like a lot of things where a red light could be
cops.
something, but you guys didn't stick around long enough to find
Yeah.
out.
I
Well,
think the
would
only
you?
thing was.
Would you
yeah.
have
Yes.
stayed?
I think
Well,
the
unless
only
it was
thing,
a cop, but I
You,
mean,
we were trespassing.
Yeah,
yeah, I can get that,
I think
but also
I would have. I would
eh.
agree 100% on some of your theories on that. Like I would. I think the only thing that is keeping me from not agreeing about it is how astronomically bright it
And again, I
was
wasn't there
to
for it,
light up
and we didn't
like,
get footage.
We'll make a
to
part
light
two.
up the entire place.
We'll
like
make a, we'll make
that
a part 2 where
was
we take Isaac
very-
everywhere.
And you guys
Oh,
had
yeah.
a lot of time
Yeah.
to collaborate this, and I know you guys have collaborated, but I remember there being some inaccuracies when you first told me the story, like for the first time, but that you guys didn't agree completely. But I think that I can't remember where it was, but I remember the stories
We
didn't line up
disagreed on
What?
stuff?
exactly.
Yeah,
Not
when we-
disagree, but it was like it didn't line up exactly because I think you said the light. No, I think you said the light was solid, but you said it was blinking.
I didn't say it was solid ever.
I know.
I
but
knew it was a big red ass blinking
it was it blinking
lights.
because I don't remember you saying that the first time,
Okay.
but
Well, what do
whatever.
you say about the
the Brent's thing.
well sorry, trying the cemetery.
The one
Where
with the tree.
Yeah, the tree.
Again, type of tree, weather
Okay,
conditions. If
so
there's more
then-
wind, then the hot air would go
Then
into
yeah, what about Brent's?
the dry wind.
grandfather?
Great grandfather.
great-grandfather.
Okay,
Yeah.
this one I was actually looking forward to because there's a bit of psychological stuff that goes into it. You were 6 when you first had the brownout, stuff like that, right? Because it wasn't quite a blackout because or whatever happened to your room. Electrical stuff happens, and it could have just been like something. But either way, whatever made your light go down when you saw somebody in the reflection of it, there's a very good chance that it could have just been the way that your like the room was set up that made it look like there was a dude on the couch, or like it could have been you double splicing in the screen because I know that from a certain angle that's a possibility. But the thing is that when you were 13, there was a picture on the floor and you picked it up and said, "Hey, this is the guy from when I was 6."
Wasn't it on
That's
the wall?
that. Yeah, it was on the wall, and I never said that it was the guy when I was 6.
What?
I never was like, oh, this is it. Like this is the
It
guy.
was
I
the guy when he
like,
was 6,
yeah,
but that was part of the story. He didn't know that it was part of. It was
Yeah.
the guy that when he was 6.
I didn't know.
until-
I just remember noticing the picture and was like, this fool looks familiar. But
Okay,
like, I'm
but-
gonna ask about it because it's there. Like, yeah.
Okay, but even then, with the whole look similar, the thing is that you did walk past this picture for several years, and then there's a very good chance that you've just seen the picture. But the thing is,
You also have to realize the picture was not there until my grandma moved into my house,
okay,
which wasn't until I was 10.
so you were
So it was not a psychological.
You said you were
like,
13.
oh, like
he
when
was
I was
6 when
6,
he
it
saw
was
it,
there.
and he was 13 when he found the picture.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
okay. So did you or did you not, when you saw the picture, think that this was the guy when you were 6?
No.
Okay, so by that definition, you had a good 3 years to reconvenience upon this picture that was on the wall, and then you went back across it like several times, and then now it's already in your memory, so it's like you already have that familiarity with it. Sort of like when you see a picture, but you don't notice it until later. It's still in your subconscious. So the idea is that the connection between the two is kind of off because you can't really connect the two unless there was vivid imagery, and other than that, you were connecting a story through a linear pathway because then you understood that
Can you talk like a normal
Okay.
human?
sorry. So basically, well, even that wasn't really psychological
here,
speech.
here is
Um,
here is the timeline. When I was 6, there was no picture there.
'Kay.
Okay.
I know that.
Okay.
but
When I was
memory
6,
is
there was no
fluid.
picture there.
Yep.
There was no picture there until I was 10, which that leaves 4 years.
And you said you asked the question when you were 13.
And I asked the question when I was 13.
Okay.
So
That's
the
3
time
years.
frame is okay. From 10 to 13, I walked past this picture, and then out of nowhere was like,
Who's that?
yeah, like who is that?
Okay, but
Right.
that's what I'm
So
saying.
it's not like it was like, oh, when I was 6, I subconsciously just was
No,
like,
it's not
this is
about
who
when you're
it
6.
is
It's
or
about when you're
whatever.
10. That from 10 to 13, your subconscious was picking up the picture. Yeah,
So
and
what
I
does
thought
that
you
have to
was-
do
was
with
being-
seeing it when I was 6?
Okay, it doesn't. I'm saying that the fact of the matter is that you associated what happened to you when you were 6 with this new person.
But I didn't.
Because okay, then how did you get this whole story together in the first place? When did you come to this conclusion?
What do you mean? I saw a picture and
So when did
asked
you
about
just-
my family history because I knew
so
it
when-
was obviously somebody that my family knew.
So when did you decide that when you were 6 you saw the guy in the picture?
Well, I put 2 and 2 together when
See,
my grandma
that's
said
the thing.
that he bled to death in my room
yeah, but the thing is,
and seen him on a bed
You saw him.
that
in
he
your
died
room
on.
when you were 6.
yes,
Huh?
You saw him.
So
in
I
your
saw it
room
when I was
you were
6.
but the
Yeah.
thing is that it's a lot of connection without explicit reasoning.
So okay, well,
I'm
here,
saying
I'm
that-
also I'm gonna debunk your theory, or oh, sorry, I wasn't saying that in the mic, but I'm gonna debunk your theory real quick about when I was 6, about seeing him.
It's not about when
in
you're
my-
6. It's about when you're 10.
No, I know. I'm not talking about the picture. I'm talking about when you were saying, oh, well, could have been,
The
an
positioning of
image
the-
splice or,
yeah,
like
the
all that kind of
positioning
stuff.
your stuff.
All right, so I had a gaming chair, which meant I was sitting on the floor. This TV was also on a dresser, and I was 6, so I was already short. So there's no possible way that being on the floor, I was seeing my own reflection of me on the floor,
So you
but someone was sitting on my bed.
you didn't see you then
I did not see me
at all.
at all
Okay.
because I was on the floor.
Again.
And with
then-
the TV, like, no one can see this because it's not filmed, obviously, but the TV is, like, on a riser like this big because it's on a
so
dresser.
about 4 feet.
And then the TV is up. But I'm also 6.
yeah,
And I'm sitting, like on floor level because it's a gaming chair.
but again,
So it wasn't like you saw yourself, but it was the positioning. It wasn't
then
that.
that would default to the other theory that it's sort of like when you see a cloth on the floor and you think it's a monster, but then it's not because it's a piece of cloth. And then when
If someone was sitting up in the bed, how would it be anything laying down on the bed?
because it could lining, painting, something that looks like
I
person
had
but
no
isn't.
paintings.
Okay, but I'm
My
no,
room, you
the-
could literally walk into the
the
room right
wall.
now.
Okay, I get that.
It's
but,
the exact same way it was before.
okay.
Just there's posters on it now.
So there's posters on it now, but there's no
Now.
like stuff up. There's
No.
Your blanket wasn't on the bed.
No.
You didn't have a blanket.
Laying on the bed?
Yeah.
Not sitting up in the bed?
Okay, but perception changes with a two-dimensional reflection.
It would not change into looking like a full grown ass man sitting on my bed.
Okay. So
But continuing
You
my
also have to
theory
remember that
I did
this
not
was-
interrupt during the story.
You also have to remember that. Yeah, well, you interrupt me all the time, so let's not go there.
But I respected you during your story.
Yeah, well,
you
it's
could at
fine.
least-
You're not respecting me. All right. Anyways.
What?
Oh my God.
What are you talking about?
bro, when Jackson's not here, y'all are the ones that fight.
I
Hey,
know.
shush. But
Okay.
But continuing my
ahead.
analysis, no, the whole thing is that you could have saw anything when you were 6. I get that I get that I get that you think it might have been something. I don't think it was. That's my personal opinion. But to say the least, when you were 10 and you made the connection that this guy died in my room, then there was
I wasn't 10.
okay, or 13, my bad. But like the familiarity was most likely because of the fact that it's been around since you were 10. The whole association with the guy who died in my room would suggest that you already had this preconception that ghosts were a possibility.
From the age of 6 to 13, I had multiple other things happen in my house to where I knew this
which
was real,
we don't have time for.
which
in
we
this
No,
do
podcast.
I
not
get
have
that.
time for.
But to say the least, there was that preconception. So there was, again, as you were
At
saying.
that point, I knew. I was like, ghosts are real
Okay.
because of
Then
things that I had
There was
seen.
an assumption that the ghosts are real and that you put two together. So it was an assumption. Thus, it can be flawed in a way.
How?
Because assumptions aren't facts. Assumptions are
So-
connecting 2 and 2.
Ah.
And
So then,
you-
what is your theory then for the final one, which was the turn with the girl at prom during
again,
the 80s?
back to the whole light thing. It could have reflected off like a thing or like a sign or something, and then it was your own headlights going through the trees off the reflection. Or there was somebody driving past a different road that was going through the trees. Light is a weird thing, especially when it's dark everywhere else. It's very bright. You could see a candlestick about 100 football fields away. If there is no light intervening,
It's a
so
weird fact to know.
yeah. Well, I saw the commercial about the eyes, doctor dudes. But yeah, no, like so with that in mind, I think that it's very possible that it was either your own lights being reflected in something and then pitched back through the trees, or it was just a light from somewhere else that was also pitching through the trees.
Cool.
So those are my
So
my skepticisms.
that was fun.
Didn't mean to step on
Moving
any
on
toes.
from both of you saying that
guy
neither one of you respected each other, because I
was.
respect both of you and I love both
I
of you.
respect Brent.
I know.
Fuck you guys.
All
right.
Point is, we've been doing this for a little longer than we thought we would. I don't even know how long we've been doing it, but thank you guys for watching or listening again.
Oh, comment what you think in
Yeah.
the comment section.
Comment your opinions.
Do you guys have ghost stories?
I'll leave a
Do you
link
guys
to the
not?
vlog where we did some
Yeah.
of the stories we talked about, and you can see what I did capture, so you can have more of an opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. We might have video later. Who knows?
At some point.